Hi everybody, my name is Gary Teo. I run the Regional Technology and Projects Practice for VML. We are seeing voice search as a technology open up. I think the last couple of years has been a kind of a tipping point to this technology. So there are more and more people who are more confident of using this technology. US is still the pack leader right now in the way voice search technology and adoption is being used. But you're still seeing pockets of adoption. For example, it's higher adoption in China, in Singapore, maybe in Malaysia, but you won't see that same level of adoption in Vietnam and Indonesia yet. Microdata allows us to define product information very quickly. So for retail clients, this makes perfect sense, especially say if you're into product retail, electronics, where your products have particular categories are easily identifiable. It's very difficult to say, I would like to find red color toga dresses, but it's a lot easier to say, I'm looking for a Bluetooth capable speaker. One of the, I think, breakthrough advancements over the last couple of years has been a continued conversation rather than a simple voice search. Say, I want to ask, where's the icon? And in Singapore, that's a reference to the icon building, but that's a very general statement in a large search. Google now has the ability for you to say in a follow-up question that says in Singapore. That's a big advancement because the user doesn't have to be pinpoint accurate on the initial voice search. The SEO content strategy itself is very, very different. I want to look for Razer products, as in the Razer mouse, right? But Razer as a word is in an English dictionary. So natural language processing will automatically translate you into, Razer with the shaving blade. And you're going to miss that opportunity for your brand to be searchable. Voice gets you much further down the, understanding the user's intent than keywords. What is the best speaker? Well, that means that typically still early in the discovery phase, right? As opposed to somebody who's saying where to buy a speaker, who's ready to convert, versus how to install, this particular speaker, which is already an owner, correct? So knowing that search is more verbose, you can use that to your advantage, can drive personalization and segmentation strategies as well, simply because you're much clearer around the user's intent. There's going to be, I think, a new focus now on the Q&A and FAQ content section as an entry point. Which outlet is still open at this hour? You need to make sure somehow the information that you have about your page is relevant so that Google can figure out what your opening hours are. The people are doing voice search are on the go, they are looking for something, right? So deep linking rather than focusing on driving to landing pages will also change. For APAC, it is a big challenge. Adoption right now is under 20% for all of these markets, right? 1 in 5 will try a voice search. Now, typically, this is 1 in 5 in their native language. So if it's not already supported in your native language and you cannot use that, then you're saying only for an even smaller minority, I might try that in English. You have some dominant English-speaking markets like Australia, you would have Singapore, potentially Philippines. Most of the growth areas have been in China, because that's the only other, technology provider or, R&D center for voice, and that's out of the Baidu areas. So we're seeing, kind of two pots, one in China and then the rest of Asia, it will still primarily be Google. I think marketers have to be a bit careful. It's a lot of content metadata and content organization work. Is your money best spent doing that, optimization right now? Is your money better spent to squeeze out, incremental conversion from somewhere else? I think the marketers have to make small plans to further this agenda, but at the same time, I wouldn't bet the bank on it just yet.